Hello there, I'm Paul Fraley, acclaimed author, um, part-time college student, prisoner of Silver Birch Retirement Village. Let's just call this video Deep Thought. And as far as the existence of the deep state, do they exist? Yes, they do exist. The greatest trick the devil has ever performed on us is that he has convinced us he does not exist. So all the imposters out there might get angry at me and blow their stack. Hey, I'm not being specific. I'm using generalities, being vague. Earth's core stopped spinning. What now? Well, I guess we die. Who cares? Stop the world. I want to get off. Reverse racism. Is it real? Yes, it's a thing. And white folk who don't think it's real are brainwashed or mentally retarded. And by the way, kiddies, cigarettes are bad for you. That's not a myth. You should listen to people tell you you're putting nails in your coffin. Anyway, I believe I have the right to be white because I was born that way. You want to take it up somebody, take it up with God. Unless you're an atheist, which of course, who cares what you think? I met some pretty weird people in my time. Some of them in chat rooms who were just weird as heck. They were woke. And they hated me for all the wrong reasons. I tried to be friendly to them. They wanted no part of me. They didn't know where I come from, where I hailed from. I said some things that didn't quite sit well with them. You know, I didn't mean to, but sometimes things just come out. You know, you're ignorant about who you're talking to. Here's the thing you gotta be aware of. Be aware of who your audience is. Be aware of who it is you're having a dialogue with. Because it's not smart to take chances in today's world. Today's world's pretty dark, foul, vulgar, and evil. And if you don't think the way that people think, well, you're in the wrong. Excuse me, but I am not a milk cricket. I'm not a cracker. I don't like being called these names. You know, it's not cool. Cut it out. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. During my youth, I used to be kind of stupid and evil. You know, people make mistakes. People aren't perfect. There are no perfect people. So I'm thinking deep thoughts. I call this video Deep Thought. Time for reflection. Should I have banged that man's wife a long time ago? Should I have screwed his wife? No. I was just stupid and full of ego. Want to get revenge on him. So I put the meat to her. Did she enjoy it? Yes, she did. But that's not a good reason to do it. Sooner or later, that's going to bite me in the ass. You know, and believe you me, your past will eventually find you and bite you on the ass. So, kids, think before you act. Look before you leap. Think about what you're doing. By the way, there is school for adults. It's normal. It's the right thing to do if you want to make lots of money in life later on, if you can manage to graduate. It's called college. Anyway, I'm planning on going back to college someday. If I can get some help. out of this prison house I'm in, get transportation, get my Pell Grant situated, getting taken care of. I want to at least try to finish matriculating, get my bachelor's degree in engineering, which means I got to relearn my multiplication tables all over again and go through algebra all over again, because that's what's required of me. And I know that. I plan on studying my butt off. Now there's no crazy lady screaming at me, saying, no, you have to do your chores. I mean, how come she never lifted a finger to do her chores? Because she had her little dink, her little man in the house. My mother, not quite mentally stable. It's sad, I know. She's terminally ill, and she's gonna be gone. I don't like to say disrespectful things, but you know what she did to me? All kinds of things. Went and buy me new shoes in high school. Wearing size 8 shoes, and I had a size 8. My feet was growing 8.5, and eventually to size 9. And I'm wearing these shoes that are making my feet grow crooked, my toes grow crooked. Does she care? No. How very unmotherly of her. But people are people. There's no perfect people. Dad was an alcoholic, smoked like a chimney, and it killed him. Couldn't talk any sense to him. He wouldn't stop smoking. Like he wouldn't stop drinking. Eventually, he got a wake-up call. Well, they had to haul him in and do a drunk tank, whatever they call it, where they dry you out. It's sad. Just, life is sad, full of sadness. Why do people end up alone? I don't know. I have so many rights taken away from me here. Can't practice my faith. I can't pray in front of a burning candle. I can't practice my custom of keeping a medieval weapon in my room. You know, I can't have these kind of hobbies. It's not allowed. I might not be allowed to vote for all I know. I don't know. Also, relationship-wise, a relationship with a woman, I might not be allowed to have that even. Or they might insist I have a relationship with somebody who's mentally damaged, and I don't want that. Well, what you want don't matter. You do what you're told. You're nothing but a child in your mind. Well, this is crap. Effing lie. They're getting away with it. Why? Because the family was messed up in their head and they wanted it that way. People that was around me, mother, sister, niece, people who had mental problems were venting their vitriol on me and wiping their feet on me. Oh, finds a chance to put him away, put our foot on his neck. They did it by God, you know, but it's just sad. I'm having deep thoughts about it. Deep thoughts. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of recollecting, a lot of thinking lately. Maybe I should have stayed in the military and toughed it out, but I didn't. I believe there's still a God in heaven. I pray to him. I still believe there's more to the universe we live in than what most Christians believe in. But you can't preach to them about that. They're not going to listen to you. Their minds are made up. They think they know everything. They're but brutes. Dumb brutes. I gave up on that a long time ago. Casey Full Gospel has one of these creation science museums. That shows you right there where the brain is at. I mean, I think they grunted too hard on the toilet and flushed they shouldn't have. No brains. I mean, everything is just so whacked today. It's just sad. It's sad. I mean, I want to be a paleontologist at one time, you know. Look what I have to run into if I was associated with these Christians. You know, I'd be telling them that the world is millions of years old at least. That's what how old life is on Earth. It's a few billion years old. And life, as we know, if it's like millions of years old. They're not going to listen to that stuff. They think they know everything. It's written in the Holy Bible. The pastors are brutish. And, you know, God expects you to have some common sense and some knowledge. That's how he created us to be. It's written in the book of Job. Who is this who darkens counsel without knowledge? Yeah, deep thoughts. And we got the wrong version of Genesis. We got some oral tradition that was approved of and others discarded. But there's more than one story that Moses got. He didn't get it handed down to him by God. He was doing his own research. Listening to what the Egyptian priest taught him as a young Egyptian prince, and listened to the stories of his father-in-law's people. And he had to make up some storyline that makes sense from a Hebrew perspective, which is, it's understandable. But there was more than one story in Genesis, more than one oral tradition. He picked one he liked, the other he didn't like. Of course, there are Hebrew or Jewish myths and legends about other origin stories about mankind. Most people think they're just heresy and pass it off. For one thing, Eve wasn't the first woman for Adam. The first woman for Adam was Lilith. And she rebelled and she got sent away. Get out of here. I want you. And then, of course, God brought Eve to him. And there's a fairy tale about her being taken from his rib. I don't think it kind of worked out that way, just the way the oral tradition had it. But anyways, Eve met up with a sorcerer in the Garden of Eden. He was called Baal Shem. And he wasn't a snake. Baal Shem Naga was an evil sorcerer who was trying to deceive Eve into taking the fruit, the forbidden fruit, which he managed to do. How did he do it? Well, it involved sex. And she was beguiled. Naga, by the way, means serpent. Anyway, he beguiled her, seduced her, impregnated her. That's where Cain came from, according to other Hebrew tradition. They were expelled from Eden. Adam, mad as heck. He got mad. He was mad. He banished her for 30 years, according to the Jewish tradition here that I'm talking about. Banished her for 30 years from his presence. Well, you gotta have a wife. What's he gonna do? He coupled up with a girl named Naamah, according to this Hebrew tradition. The oral tradition was eventually written down. Finally, Eve came back to him 30 years later, and he had children by her. Like he had Abel. Cain did not like Abel. You know, and how that goes. Eventually, you know, he got murdered. And Adam had children by both of his wives. He was a polygynist. Adam in the garden, you know, from the Garden of Eden, who was exiled, became a polygamist. God ordained it. I said, yeah, okay. So that's where you got the idea. Say, oh, you can do this. But from now on, you got to take care of both your wives, like you care for both of them equally. Clothe her, feed her, take care of her. It's in the Old Testament. If you don't believe, you look it up. You can Google it if you want to. Polygamy. You type in scriptures in Google -polygamy. It takes you to those places in the Bible. It'll show you different Bible verses, different Bible versions. Good morning, dear. Yeah. And while I'm having these deep thoughts, while I'm on the topic, people who are fat should not be shamed by the people because they're overweight. They tell me here all the time, you're eating too much. If that's true, why do I drink water with my evening meals? I don't eat any more than anybody else here. I really don't. Just because I like 3 or 4 pieces of bacon does not mean I'm overeating. I mean, what the heck are they talking about? They didn't even weigh me in July. And you said that. I've actually lost 6 pounds, as far as I can tell, since I started dieting when I was 300 pounds overweight. So I'm not gaining weight, I'm losing weight. But if I'm fat, then they'll still tell you you're eating too much because you're fat. It's called fat shaming. There aren't any perfect people. I know that. I shouldn't hate people, resent people. And we're on the topic of people. YouTube is biased against whites. I tried looking up historical information about white people and white races, people with blue eyes and blonde hair. It showed me people of a different race. People who are black. Why does it do that? Because the programming is wrong. The AI is stupid. It is biased because it's programmed to be biased because whoever's in charge of programming it is a woke idiot. People who think like that are just nuts, man. And for the record, I do believe in Jesus Christ. He's my personal Savior. I also believe in mysticism. I realize this from the occult world, but I am a free thinker. Don't try to put me in a box and tell me you got to think only these things inside your box, where we program you to think. Otherwise, I may as well go kiss the ass of Rachel Stevens, who thinks that everything that ever touched anything pagan is evil. I got news for you. Christianity and Judaism was always around. All we had was paganism. And does that mean our ancestors are evil? Because if that's true, they all burn in hell, and nobody followed Jesus Christ up out of the grave when Jesus Christ rose from the dead. He went into hell to free sinners. He came to earth, died on the cross for sinners. People are just whacked ideas. I mean, what a world we live in. Deep thought. Yeah, what a world. Okay. This has been Paul Fraley touching on some touchy subject matter, which I don't like talking about. I love being somebody with Germanic ancestry. I love my people. I don't think that makes me evil or racist. That's the stupidest thing I've heard my entire life. Anyway, this is Paul Fraley signing off, not throwing shade, not meaning to, saying good day, goodbye. Hey, have a great life. Send in funny papers.